Candy Crush?
Named after a treat.
Max is on the right track, and Candy Crush is a game, you moron.
I know,
You
but
honestly think there's an
I wouldn't be surprised if they turned it into an anime by now.
There was an anime called Candy Crush. Though.
Exactly, but
I
guess let's find out.
I hate how so dangerously close he is, but it's incorrect. Like that's the most frustrating thing.
Candy Crush, Crush Bandicoot is also a game. The problem is
Candy Warrior, Sugar Warrior,
Sugar Rush, Candy
Rush.
Rush.
That's from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh well, I guess we will never guess this anime. Anyways, hello and welcome to the anime with clues, spelled with a K for some reason. We are wondering about...
You shouldn't be spelling things with K's, Max.
I know, but I needed to work it in there somehow, because Keyframe is spelled with a K and Awkward is spelled with a K. Hi to the cast!
Hi guys!
That was an intro,
if you guys came expecting a good show today, we'll see.
I mean, just see who is in the co-host chair and who is apparently the guest.
Hi, I'm Chrissy.
Exactly. Please, Cosmic, for the people who are here for the very first time, please do tell us, who are you, what do you do, and why should people care? I don't have anything prepared for your media, for your
hi guys,
channels.
My name is
How
Cosmic
ironic.
I review Blu-rays
I have this prepared, which still kind of counts because you are also part of DA Games. Everybody is part of DA Games except for me, but I'm thankful because I'm lazy. You wouldn't want to have me spoil your work.
This is the equivalent of me inviting you onto one of my shows and then having your channel pop up. Like he works for me. This is my channel.
But yeah, since you're not getting anywhere with this guest up here, Chris, do you feel like telling us who you are, what you do, and why people should care about you in case they never tuned into the show before? Because you are, for the 6th time.
You're in our top 5 of
there we go.
Yes.
Apparently, I didn't know that.
No, you are one of the you are officially with today one of the 6 people in the top 5 most frequent guests.
Isn't he tied with Lauren?
And with a third person on the 4th place, which explains why we have 6 people in the top 5.
But still.
Welcome back!
Still a place.
Exactly.
Hi, Chris. So, Chris, tell us what you are before we get even more off the rails, please.
Wow! This feels like season 2 show. We are so all over the place. It's amazing.
I suppose the simple answer is, blowing your nose on a talk show.
What am I supposed to do when it runs? I cannot even properly mute.
You think Conan O'Brien would just pause interviewing Norm Macdonald just by going... That's not how this works, Max. Come on.
Okay. We're just going to... Guys, no, we got to stop. We're going to stop. We're just going to say hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast. ANY and Keyframe wonder about random dribble. Welcome to the show. We got a bunch of good stuff for you. Chris, how are you doing? Please let us know. Who are you? What do you do? And why should people care? That's our actual...
This is why it's Chrissy's show.
My heart of hearts.
As you can see, I have website and YouTube channel, Aficionados Chris.
Yeah.
The simple answer is I'm a critic. I take a look at media, most specifically physical, like discs, Blu-ray discs, DVD discs, all that kind of good stuff. Though more recently, the videos are usually about 10 minutes. We did a video that was over 20, which condensed over 50 years of content because it focused primarily on Lupin the Third. And Chrissy had a big hand in producing that video. But Chrissy also has a big hand in producing a lot of the videos.
I'm a script doctor. I come up with how to say things in a nicer way.
This is an odd way to be saying that.
I I don't know what to do with my body today, man. I'll get into that
with, like,
for my week.
This like long sleeve turtleneck look. You look like you're at a
I mean, if I put on glasses.
Also, I forgot that the green. Also, I forgot that the green
screen does not affect that shirt well, dear.
Nope.
If I put on my glasses, I look like Kermit when Jenna was cutting soap for him in the turtleneck.
Oh, yeah.
Just the same energy of just crying while someone's cutting soap in silence.
That's one way to solve the issue. Yay.
But,
Indeed.
No, Chris, what's been going on in your life recently? I know that your life, to some extent, has been consumed by the thing that is the reason for my mental state.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, suppose the major thing is that Chrissy has been the lead artist for a DA Games video, which that's the other thing I do, is that I manage this channel. I am not the singer, the lyricist. That would be Will, who I think has been on the show at least once.
Twice. By now.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. So, I basically just make sure when Will makes a song and he wants to turn it into a music video, I help organize that, have it go smoothly. I pre-approve things like merchandise. In fact, Key recently helped produce some new merch. I think it's sitting next to her.
It's coming. Wait, what?
Yeah, oh my god, it shook everything.
That's just a box.
Yes.
Inside the box.
And here I was expecting to see the Will plushie.
No, the Will plushie is shipped
no,
out
those are shipping though. They are shipping. They are supposed to be shipping out this week.
I facilitated a deal with my little guys, our good friend Igor, to make these things.
DA game dog
lasered. And Will's indie project.
That one doesn't show up very well on webcam.
It doesn't, but it shows up really good in person. But it shows up also good on a normal camera. People saw when we put the lasering videos on Twitter. It's just that webcams are webcams. But these also just have actual black outlines. Because Igor's a fucking mad lad and just makes pretty shit all the time. Yeah. But, yeah, so, yeah, Chris has been doing that stuff. But what else have you been up to, Chris?
Well, been trying to, I say trying to, there are 2.5 scripts written for more videos on my main channel. Technically, 2 of them should have been shot, but because of how big this project's been, it has been a consummate thing I've needed to keep an eye on to make sure everyone involved is, doing what they're doing and doing okay while they're doing it, especially Chrissy, because she's been working the hardest. And we're all thankful for her input because she is our ship captain.
Shut up. You're not supposed to compliment me on my show.
No, he wasn't.
He was compliment the guests.
He wasn't. He was just implying that when the ship is sinking, you have to stay.
I think that's the most clever joke you've said in the past 3 years of this show.
Yeah.
I literally had no comeback. Just like, well.
That's actually, what's that one gif you got me there?
160 episodes, and finally I made a good one.
Yeah. How old are you?
160, okay. As I said.
That's what I thought.
Each episode ages me a year.
I mean, he acts like he's 160 days old.
The big problem trying to find my media is like keep going, nope, that's not YouTube appropriate.
Welp.
Okay. But yeah, Chris, do you want to spill what the scripts you got done are, or?
I can do that. 2 of them are Lupin. But the primary one is there is going to be a review for Thomas and the Magic Railroad, which is the first feature film adaptation of Thomas the Tank Engine, something from my childhood, which is a terrible thing to say because it's the new 20th anniversary Blu-ray, which was the worst thing for me to read. And I know Max may or may not feel that pain when you see your first childhood thing that says celebrated 20 years. Wait, what? 20 years?
I am
that the 1990s were 30 years ago.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Chris,
Yeah.
I am construction year 84, so
91, so I'm turning 30 next year. I'm going to by a lot of my old friends' accounts, I will finally have a past next year. I mean, I can always cheat and say that Thomas and the Magic Railroad's the media, because I have had to watch some of these things a lot for the reviews. But the other two are...
I mean, if you need to cheat it, there you go.
Possibly. Because the honest thing is, I haven't been watching much because of this project, and when I have been watching, it's already been discussed on the show. Like, obviously, everyone's watching.
I don't think we talked about the Nick Robinson, because Lord knows I only discovered him recently.
You know what? I'll you know what?
We could talk about Domino's Miku, but yeah.
Drop me the link in Discord, and
I will. Actually getting it up right now.
Yeah, I will put it.
But yeah,
on screen.
the other two reviews are for Secret of Haramo's Treasure and Twilight Gemini, which are two Lupin.
Pursuit of Haramo. It's
Treasure.
Pursuit of Haramo and Secret of Twilight Gemini, which in both cases, Chrissy had viewed with me because the Blu-rays that came
with Lauren and Tia and the gang.
Well, Lauren we did with Secret of Twilight Gemini. You and I did Pursuit alone, by circumstance, because I was watching it by myself. And then you dropped in like, hey, we watching Monkey? Like, yeah, that's fun. But Secret is the more interesting one. Because
it's so bad.
Secret is horrible.
It's so bad.
It's astonishingly bad. Like, it's almost B-movie bad, which is a shame because
almost,
with Lupin,
yeah.
So there isn't legit.
You want B-movie charm, not B-movie bad.
so there is an actual real or a bad Lupin movie out there?
Yes,
hey, I mean it's 50 years old. There's gonna be some bad ones.
Yeah, there's gonna be some bad eggs in this 50-year batch. But I think the best thing from that was that I was working while it was happening. So Chris and Lauren and people are watching, and I'm just working. So I'm half paying attention to the other screen, and then after like an uninterrupted minute of them just walking in the desert, there's so much recycled animation in the special of just things looping for a long period of time.
Yep.
And
randomly cutting
through the desert
to make it seem like it's longer.
Desert expositing for like 45 seconds until Chris fucking screamed at the top of his lungs, "Do something!" And my hand just went. I was erasing something, and I erased a giant line through my entire piece.
Oops.
And I screamed back at Chris, "Christ! I was trying!" Thank God for a Control-Z button and digital shit, because Jesus, it was one of the most complex backgrounds for this fucking project, and there was just a giant line that, like it's like if someone spilled soda on your taxes. It was just like, why?
I mean, that
was the most entertaining thing about that entire fucking movie.
That's like, had I watched that one alone, I probably would have been more harsh on it through my review. I'm still criticizing it in like the parts of the video where I do talk about like the quality of the content itself, not so much like the Blu-ray like video and audio stuff that's usually after. But this was one of those rare cases where I actually had a little more to say as far as like, yeah, this is kind of bad, and most of it was to say something like, it's. I think I even wrote, there's more exposition than the opening sequence of Big Hero 6. Like, it's really bad when it comes to the exposition.
It's bad.
Because exposition is not inherently a bad thing in media, but depending on how much of it you use, especially I will argue in animation, where the whole point of that medium is to tell the story visually as often as possible. It feels like a waste of the use of the source if you're having all your characters fucking explain everything without showing anything. It's like, you're animated, fucking animated. When you're talking about this, you're talking about a past event. How about you show the past event, animate it, make it unique? Like sometimes they do. There's like this one scene where the characters are talking about how one of them was like a nomad in the past and helped basically like a Lawrence of Arabia type or Dances with Wolves, where the guy falls in love with a girl in a tribe and then helps lead the tribe, like that kind of cliche plot. But they did a unique thing by having it done in the style of a silent film, because the event took place when those films were the norm, and that was interesting. But that was the only time they ever did anything where the exposition was visually interesting and furthered the plot. It's like they spent all their money on that and all the anime nipples, because that's the other thing. This one has a lot of gratuitous fan service more than any other.
A lot of gratuitous boobs, and most of them are under the duress of the female character, not willing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyways,
never.
Damn it! I was trying to find an image of this, since this is always turning into a media.
You're gonna get flagged.
Yeah, but
no, not the nipples, the movie in general. Oh yeah, let me show you the nipples.
Yeah, let's get banned off. What was the reason you got banned off Twitch, Max? The Lupin.
Lupin and
Chris,
the nipples.
If there's not anything else that's been going on in your week.
No, I just about it. Just writing those those reviews.
Welcome back to the energy cast.
But yeah, I have the feeling that your entire last 2 weeks will probably be dominated by exactly one topic, Chrissy.
And I mean, that's why I'm passing the torch on to you, because mine's just going to be a long, monotone scream. So might as well buffer it with something. Please tell me you did something besides get a flu shot this week.
I mean, I did get a flu. which is actually at the end of the day probably more interesting than it sounds.
While you're doing that.
Oh, thank you.
No. While you keep going on, I have to grab something.
Okay,
so
fair
I will
enough.
Be right back.
But no, the fun thing about living with an American now is that we get the direct cultural comparison between a German flu shot and an American flu shot. But, or rather, how it is.
Do you take flu shots in the ass? Are you
actually,
one of those
no. Actually, it's still the upper arm. But no. So the thing is, we both went there together. And we're like, okay, flu shot. So I come in there with my German medical insurance card, like, here, swing, yeah, no problem. She, private insurance due to the language school. And she was there for another issue where it was like, okay, let's check if the doctor green lights the shot itself. But yeah, me go in there. Wait right in front of the lab. 5 minutes later, the assistant comes, shot in, done. In theory, I could have left, but I would not leave the poor expat. What expat was the term, I believe? I wouldn't let the poor expat stay alone in the doctor's office. So, but yeah, for her flu shot, it was like, she got a receipt from the doctor, like what do you call a medication recipe, a receipt, thingamajig, a slip, medication slip. Had to go down 3 floors to the ground level prescription. Thank you. Down 3 floors to the street level pharmacy with this slip, pay for it, gets the actual shot back up to the doctor, who then puts in the vaccine. It was like, I was like, okay, not normal. Normal is what I experienced going in, getting the shot, going out. But something about this private insurance required some special shenanigans. And then the next day, I assume it was because of the flu shot, I was out. I was like, I started my work day, went to the daily, went in the sense of turning on the hangout call. Still good energy, everything there, into the daily morning call with the colleagues. And toward the end of the call, I felt a coldness creeping in. And
gross.
I know, right? Oh, this we actually started to do phasmophobia jokes later that day because I lost any body heat, I guess. I turned into a lizard person for a day because I could put on as many layers as I wanted. I didn't get warm, I didn't sweat, I didn't build up any heat, so I just spent the entire day in bed like, hey, I'm cold. But yeah, towards the evening, it all cleared out normally again, so guesses, flu shot. Besides that, anything happening this week? I actually kept at it with my drawing. I mean, I haven't, since drawing previews on the show have a tradition by now, I guess I can, where is it opening? It should open in the middle, which is fine enough. I guess, yeah, exclusively for watchers of the show, you can see what the next image incoming is. With the last two drawings, which were crossovers, yay, progress. Yeah, with the last two drawings, which were crossovers, I kind of felt like doing a crossover on Marlena as well. So she is now Merlina dressed up as Squirrel Girl, and very confused about it.
You had the idea for that.
I had the idea to make a crossover. Yes, the idea to make it with Squirrel Girl came from you.
And with a Helltaker character.
Yeah. But yeah. You try to make me draw Lucifer. Exactly.
I did not make you try to draw Lucifer. I was giving
suggestions.
There was just an idea. It was a suggestion of Lucifer with a character from My Hero. I'm sorry that I gave you another idea.
Yeah.
This is our arguments, ladies and gentlemen.
I know.
Basically,
I've been here 6 times.
If you wanted a peek into, you've been here 6 times. I've been here 6 years.
But yeah. Besides this, I guess the only remaining highlight of the week was my mom did a Skype call with me. That was an adventure.
Skype.
He told me about this. This is good.
Yes.
Is good.
So she, because of everything being online nowadays, her Spanish class also moved online, and with Skype. And apparently, in last week, she had a lesson, apparently a one-on-one, and her teacher called, and in hindsight, I can say she probably just clicked the phone button instead of the video call button. And she was like, oh no, the camera is not working anymore. Oh no. And even with the help of the Spanish teacher, they couldn't figure it out because the Spanish teacher, being actually native Spanish, living in Spain.
It sounds like the bit from Penguins of Madagascar with John Malkovich's octopus villain not being able to figure out video call.
But yeah, my brother-in-law, who lives next door, eventually came over and showed her what she did wrong. Once again, I assume she just answered the call with phone instead of with video and didn't know that there's a video button in the middle.
It's a call, so you're supposed to hit the button that you pick.
Literally,
you know what? In hindsight,
literally her argument she gave me. Literally her explanation. You click the little.
Mom are on the same level.
Yeah,
I like that.
You click the little phone icon to answer the call. But yeah.
But it looks so short.
But because of that, she wanted to have a Skype call with me just to make sure that it works now. We still had to have a 5-minute phone call to get the Skype call to work.
That's so adorable.
But
There's something weirdly wholesome about that.
Oh, but yay! You got to have a Skype call with your mom. I'm glad you had this wholesome moment. Let me talk about my hell.
Oh boy! Everybody, be ready for the 10-minute scream.
Okay.
Hey, Chrissy, how were your last 2 weeks?
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm tired. You wanna know why I'm tired?
Please do tell us. Why are you tired?
Hi, my name is Christine Bucola, and I work way too much.
Hello, Christine.
She does.
Yeah. So I make this sound like I have a gun against my head. I don't. We are working on a music video for the games. It's for a song that Will made based off Among Us, and it's a motion comic. So it has like a bunch of illustrations. It has to be parallaxed and moved around and all this stuff. And this is the first major music video that I'm editing, as well as doing the illustration work for. And I had to do a bunch of revisions of the original animatic to the pictures, and not to reveal things because shush. But people can attest if they look at the original animatic and what it is now, it is night and day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think Max has seen some of what you've
yes,
done.
I have shown Max because he is my breaking NDA person.
Well, he's allowed.
He's allowed.
So who have I to talk to? I'm a has-been. People only tune into this show because of her.
Yeah. Shut.
It's the only reason I'm here.
But no.
That's also true.
But no, that's just been my life, is just doing all this, because the turnaround for this video has been less than 3 weeks, and I have made nearly 30 full illustrations, most of them with backgrounds, and doing all this stuff in less than 3 weeks. So I think one night I had like 4 or 5 shots pinned down in one night. So it was just do, and not to say that I'm the only one doing the work. That is a bold-faced lie. Our friend Kai is doing the inks and colors, and he's doing a fantastic job. They forced me to move colors to him because Sean and Chris kind of called me in a call and was like, no.
Stop it. Put the pen down.
The problem with Chrissy is
put the pen down.
Once she gets working, she's very determined and gets too focused.
Sleep is secondary.
You're illustrating and you're editing, and you want to do coloring on top of that. One of these things has to go. And she, bless her, she was stubborn. Like, I want to do the compositing. Like, okay, then you're not doing coloring. At least one of these jobs has to go away so that you have some brain stems left that haven't popped. So
I mean, you don't need to tell Max twice about my to a fault determination. That Halloween
she's stubborn as a mule, or I should say stubborn as a guinea.
150th episode art. I just didn't sleep. But I have way too many.
Which is why I'm already on it to poke you about the 2021 season art, so that you don't have to do it in the first January week overnight. So you have an entire month to do it in peace.
Yeah, that's
and also for everyone else, she is getting a very nice bonus for all the extra hard work she's been doing.
Yeah.
Which I myself approved.
Yes, but no, that bonus is funding many presents, some to the ire of others. I wonder who.
It's true.
What are you gonna start sending bad dragon coupons?
No.
Oh my, there's a story here.
There's no story here. He just wanted to throw a fucking wrench into my highway.
You said iron to others. I had to think of something that would baffle people. I think a bad dragon coupon would baffle quite a few people.
Yeah.
I mean, it is baffling. But no, besides
you
that,
know, you know that's behind me.
Exactly. We can both Sonic her up.
That's not going to increase my energy. I'm explaining why I'm at low energy because this has been my life for 2. Part of the reason we didn't have AWKWARDCast last week was because I was just going to Max like, Max, I can't, man. My battery is so low. Remember your old phone? I am that right now. Please don't make me run another
I
app.
am at 2%. I need to be plugged in. Wait.
But my old phone is now degraded to an alarm clock and never plugged out. What does this translate to in your case?
Exactly what you think it means, dear. But no, besides that, it's just been...
She said it! Everyone, she said it! Are
you done? Are you done?
I am now.
Besides that, my life has just been sitting down, putting on Pokemon card unboxings, and working. I know I have a problem. I mean, I have multiple problems. I'm also the woman who spent money on this. This is a 3-pound bag of Skittles.
That's how she keeps going. $9. Sugar. Pure sugar.
I mean...
I can't look at that bag because she took a photo of that bag in my server, and when she took the photo, she had just her foot next to it, splayed
for size reference. This thing is as big as my foot.
She claims for size reference, but it's just like,
why would I put my foot in a picture in any other context, Chris?
I don't know. Why do people take photos of them peeing through an OK head or standing in a toilet to crush food?
That is a completely different equivalency here, my friend.
It is. I think you have that same energy as the crushing food forcefully Twitter, which you yourself.
Oh, the gripping food with force Twitter. I mean, that is one of my favorite Twitters.
So you posting a photo of a Skittles bag and making sure your foot just fucking splayed.
No, if I wanted to do something purposeful, look, I'm not defending myself on my own show, but if I wanted to do something purposeful involving my foot in a picture, I would draw a face on it, like I did with that one picture of a foot that I sent
then you'll get into a fucking dark squid video.
Yes, but no.
You're probably on WikiFeet now.
Oh my.
I really hope not. No, we do not. No. Look, I'm just saying, people judge me for how much I've gotten into Pokemon cards. I have enough money in Pokemon cards just by collector's value because of finding those first edition cards that no one can judge me ever again. I have more money in shiny pieces of cardboard than some people have in their wallets right now. But yes. Besides that, I was able to sit down and watch a movie this week.
Oh, is this a transition?
Yes, because Lord knows I can't extend everything that happened in my week. Or lack thereof.
The thing is, I know this movie, but I have not watched it.
Yes,
I have not even heard of it.
Who likes the Cube?
Oh, now we're talking.
Okay, this is actually a Spanish film, but it has been dubbed in English, called Passage or The Passage. And this is definitely for people who like stuff like the Cube.
Mm-hmm.
Basic plot is that you are in this long, vertical, 1 room per level monolith. And in the middle is this seemingly magic slab that has food. Mm-hmm. And depending on the level you are on, you could have you notice that the food is more and more eaten as it goes down. Mm-hmm. This entire monolith is sharing 1 slab of food. And you switch levels every month. You could be on level 3 one month and be on level 150 the next month. So you could be not having food for a month, and if you're on a lower level for more than a month, 2 months. And it's basically showing this man. I think his name is the names are actually Indonesian. I think the guy's name is equivalent to fried rice, gerenge or something like that. And it's showing his just mental degradation inside of this passage. And it's a fascinating psychological thriller. And I watched it because I was looking up the Cube on Netflix, and Netflix gives you, because you were looking for Cube, it sent me this. And I was shocked with how much I liked it, because I'd never heard of it before. I mean, I'm sure that I may have saw the name around, but I didn't, I didn't look into it until now. And I'm very happy I did. I really enjoyed it. I watched it both, I watched one time through with the original Spanish dub, because I can read subtitles pretty fast, but then again, I'm a weird speed reader. And then I watched it with the English dub. The English dub is perfectly good. Like, the acting in it is good. So it's not a phoned in dub.
That's actually very rare for a live action film.
Yeah, but I would say it works. And it's such a fascinating concept, because it shows just how much we kind of take food for granted, in the sense of, what would happen if you just put society in this little, like, microcosm of the top, and just, because you can basically imply that past a certain level, no one gets food. It's like the slab will be picked clean, and it feels kind of like a big allegory for capitalism and trickle down economics, because you just expect the people at the top to ration it out to the bottom, and they just don't because of greed. And it's so fascinating how they do it, and just how it's very well paced, which is the best compliment to give to a film like this that has to show someone mentally breaking down and having to adapt to a situation like this. Because I think, without giving spoilers, you do see this guy going through months upon months upon months of being in this place. And it is kind of terrifying, but also fascinating watching it through, because I think the detail I love the most is that they have a fully running sink of water. So the entire time they have water, they have shaving cream, they have supplies, like a bed and things. The only thing that is a finite supply is food. And that's what makes them break down, because it's such a visceral human thing. And it's, and if you ever wanted food to look more disgusting, or people eating to be more disgusting than the innate action is, watching people just grab at the food with, like, clawed hands is just... It's a okay, I'm going to give the fair warning. This is a disturbing movie. If you are squeamish, there is cannibalism at some points. So if you are squeamish to body horror, or kind of a squick, because,
well, guess I'm going to watch this movie alone.
You know what happens when a body is rotting and certain creatures grow inside of it?
Ah, lovely.
Little wiggly things. Inexplicably, that happens. Hey, I have to give the fair warning, because
it's fair.
I state psychological horror, and sometimes psychological horrors don't have any body things. But no, it happens. It's scant, but it happens.
You just lost all the potential interested people.
Right now.
Yeah.
Nope.
Look, I would say if you could get past the two scenes where this occurs, you are going to be in for a really good movie. Like,
I've seen worse.
Especially if you like stuff like Cube. Because Cube is one of my favorite psychological movies of all time, And this one does it, but even I would argue in a more minimalist
I
way.
remember this one with the white rooms and where all the rooms are cube shaped and white, and you have those people and the floating scene.
That's hyper.
Denim Ninja says, "I'll read the wiki synopsis. That's the coward's way out."
Yep, as I said, I'm going to watch it alone, apparently.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a good movie. And I really recommend it. I can't say much because so much of it would become spoiler territory.
Yeah. I mean, the premise is probably... who is hooked by the premise, or who isn't hooked by the premise, will probably not be more hooked about the details, because this movie seems to be all premise and how the people in it cope with it.
I really do hope people give it a chance, though, because like Chris said, we don't often get dubs of live action films, and
let alone good ones,
to have, especially and for it to be an internationally released Netflix film, because this is a Spanish movie and it is on American Netflix, and to my knowledge just general Netflix, because I looked up a review of it and it was a UK YouTuber that recommended it, so it's at least in the UK and US.
What the fuck? And on it's on German Netflix. Twice. Why is it here twice?
So I do hope people give it a chance so we can have more internationally distributed films that, even if they only are subtitled, that are put through to a bigger audience, even with a language barrier, because there is a lot of region-locked content because of the initial language that it's in.
Okay, just to share my confusion here, German Netflix, twice the platform. One is, I assume, the movie that you watched, psychological, violent, dark, and the other one is a series. And it even has more or less the same font. Yeah, obviously, but it even has more or less the same font, or a very similar font, like white, plain, with scribbles on it. So yeah, everybody look for the movie, not the series. I see now people actually, on your recommendation, picking up the series and being like, what's that? I don't get it. That's not what she described at all.
Where's the cannibalism?
Yeah.
But no, I really want this to have more of a chance, because I already watch films that are not in English language because I'm a turtleneck wearing snob like that. But I do like the trend that could be started with like Parasite and Plattfom, and even with the anime scene on Netflix, that we get more things that are not region locked just because of the language that they were made in. And hey, if it also allows dubbing with some of these cases, I still don't support a dub of Parasite. Just fucking read it. But you should. But for stuff like this, where it seems to be also a director's choice to do it, to allow this to happen. So, if you like it, if you want a good spook and making you think about a lot of sociological stuff while watching people get really ravenously hungry, the platform is just for you.
Hey.
Yeah, but that was my media.
Chris, you want to go next?
I suppose so. We have it in the chat for you. Key could actually share this one with me. This is a YouTube channel that I've been watching as of late called Nick Robinson, whose name sounds like a character from Lost in Space.
Kinda, yeah.
It really does.
And I mean, he's also
this is one of those things where I think everyone has one where a friend or a family member keeps recommending something, and then you keep saying, yeah, I'll check it out, and then through circumstances you inadvertently start watching it, and they're like, hey, I'm the one that told you to check this thing out. And you're just like, wow, I've been watching this thing. So Sean, our friend Sean, has recommended this guy a few times, usually with the whole like, oh, he's crazy, you'll love him. And that was about it. But basically what this guy does is, I suppose you could go as far as say he's kind of like an Andy Kaufman kind of approach to the video essay videography, which I detest video essay. Hell, I just detest the term video essay because it's such a pretentious, like, they're not reviews, they're video essays. No, no, they're not. But what he does, like, you probably guessed by. They are, but like the approach and the subject is far more innately interesting. Like, one that probably grabbed your eye was the 10-year hunt for the lost McDonald's DS game, which is the first one I saw. Basically, he does all these kinds of videos where he talks about seemingly uneventful things, but he's so strangely captivating. And one of the biggest cliches of his series is how often the mystery of his video has him literally traveling to Japan to get answers. Like, he basically does like that whole
it is him. Wait, you sent me this video. This now explains so much.
Yes, I sent you the Hatsune Miku Domino's pizza.
And I even started watching the follow-up.
Well, I think the silliest one, because he goes to Japan a lot. To me, the most grippy ones, like the ones I would recommend people start off with, would be his one about I solved Super Monkey Ball's biggest mystery, which is someone who never ever played a single Super Monkey Ball game. I have no sentimental attachment. I have no frame of reference for it as a franchise. But that whole video was astonishingly engaging, because really all it is, I can't.
Cans of worms.
It did. It's not really a spoiler to say this, like, the title's meant to pull, because he's actually a former Polygon writer, which would explain his kind of clickbaity titles to get you pulled in, and then you're both thinking and laughing because he's so absurd. But he's still actually doing investigative journalism. Like, very ironically, he actually is.
Since he has a lot of those videos, I assume it's about this with the red bar across the face.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
I solved Super Monkey Balls. But yeah, he has a lot of Super Monkey Ball videos, but the specific one I recommend is the I solved its biggest mystery, because really all it is him trying to find an uncredited voice actor. Like, that's the whole
and then it just opens
premise.
up this big thing of this coup of American voice actors living in Japan, and it turns into like a fucking whodunit, and it's so fascinating.
Like, they feel like I don't know what the German equivalent is, but they feel like those, like, 2020 or just those, like, news investigative journalism spots, like, you know, what's really in the hot dogs you eat.
Yeah.
But
like a special
as
evening
boring
report.
as exactly. But as boring as those sound, these subjects are, again, more inherently interesting, because even you are just like, wait, like Chrissy, for example, I was watching one and she goes, "There's a McDonald's DS game?" I go, "Yeah, you gotta watch this." Like, and I just sent her the link. I don't know if she's seen it since then. But that's the thing, is that there's just subjects. Wow. There's just those subjects that you go, what? Like, he actually does clickbait very well, because not only does he actually answer the fucking question that he proposes, the journey is so enthralling and, in some cases, gripping. Like, they are great videos. And again, the two I highly recommend are the I Solved Super Monkey Ball's Greatest Mystery and the 10-year hunt for the lost McDonald's DS game. Like, those are the top two. Those are the top two that I would recommend, because they're
also. Can we just say that it's a
best trendsetters?
I will link both of them below.
It's a power move that one of his pieces of merch is just an all-over print T-shirt of one of his plane tickets to Japan.
One of his Japanese tickets, yeah. Because again, you don't see the graphs how often he just goes to Japan.
This man flies from LA to Japan so often that it's disgusting.
Yep.
Oh,
to a point where
he is also the one who did this video.
Which one?
The one on the one on the dog in this one the translated dog.
Pappy.
Pappy Van Poodle.
Yeah, Pappy Van Poodle. He also did the Pappy Van Poodle. I watched those ages ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's him.
That's also him.
That's things that you've probably come across his videos, or at least like maybe watch them, because he gets recommended a lot through the YouTube.
He's an algorithm darling because of just how well he clickbaits. Probably how good his metadata is if we looked into it, and just how well. Andy Kaufman is a great way to put it, because he puts so much love, care, and passion into such mundane topics.
Yep.
The fact that he
all that ironic twist.
The whole. I'm not gonna spoil it because you're on that video, but the whole video talking about the app, like the Domino's Hatsune Miku app, and the amount of shit that they do to try to revive the app is
an app that really
that one's my
is just
favorite
a
video
meme.
because it's such a and how many Twitter accounts this guy owns just so he can have these facts about random things? Because he has a whole Twitter dedicated to the Hatsune Miku Domino's
He's
app.
also somewhat of a you could say an archivist, like like again, you'd have to watch some of these videos to figure out like what puts him in that position. But as someone who's also has a big interest in lost media, I love channels like this that, you know, especially again with like the 10-year Lost, or like, yeah, I've heard about this, like I know of this game because I frequent a lot of Lost Media channels and the Lost Media wiki, so I know about this thing. But I won't say anymore because that's for the video to go deep dive into. But he's done a lot for Lost Media, more than I'd say any other Lost Media channel, because he brings a lot of results.
Is there anyone you think wouldn't like his videos? Because you could tell who we would recommend this to, because these are all videos that people like us have watched.
I suppose, I don't know, because I feel like most of the people that watch your channel would probably dig him because he appeals to that sort of subsect of you know, that sort of between millennial and Zoomer kind of tone. No, I genuinely don't know. I think even if you don't find him funny per se, I think the topics he covers are just engaging enough that you will be interested. Like the fact that I can say I don't give a flying fuck about Super Buckyball, but I watched a 40-minute video about him trying to find an uncredited voice actor for the game should say a lot about how captivating his content actually can be.
Yeah.
Is that, you know, you don't even have to care about it and you'd still be watching it.
Yeah, it's definitely not the it's long form content, definitely, that is gripping enough that you will watch one after another, and that can't be said about a lot of long form things where it's just like you watch one, you're like, yeah, I'm good for now, time to go have some more bite-sized content. We were watching so many of these videos back to back to back. We were like, one more.
We were having a long form, like, you know, back and forth, because sometimes we'd stop watching a Nick video and start watching a Salty video, because Salty would get recommended at the same time we were watching Nick Robinson videos, and Key would be like, oh, have you seen that Salty, Chris? I haven't watched that one yet. Okay. And I'll just click it on, like, yay!
So we would interrupt the Nick Robinson traveling to Japan to find out the voice actor for Monkey Ball Journey, to watch Derek slowly go crazy playing the Alvin and the Chipmunks Wii game, or watching Clone High and FNAF VR, which is just as gripping of content. But so
Salty's great too. I like Salty's content.
We love Derek in this house. But so watch Nick Robinson. You probably have already watched him, but watch more of him.
Mm-hmm. You've probably seen him in your feed, but give that video a click.
Trust me. Trust us.
Okay.
What's your media, Max?
What's my media? My media is one where I would not have expected to watch it at all. It's I don't even know how old it is. It's an anime.
Too.
Oh, you know it. It's a funny thing.
Yeah, I grew up with this one.
Yes. So did Denim, and because it's a childhood memory, teenage memory, I don't know. She made me watch it too. And the fascinating thing about, not childhood, but yeah, the fascinating thing about this series is, on the one hand, it's absolutely what's on the can, but then again it isn't. it's so you look at it and it looks like, okay, not so far, it will start looking like it in a moment. It looking like an ballet themed magical girl anime, which it is. It is a ballet themed magical girl anime, because it takes place.
I don't like the threatening aura of that realistic cat person.
Oh yeah, he is a character, all right.
Yeah, clearly.
Mr. Cat. Oh, you haven't seen him when he goes really threatening, because
he's literally named Mr. Cat.
He's Mr. Cat, and he is their ballet instructor. And whenever some of those minor girls grew up, he is like, yeah, you will, if you don't get better at dancing, you will have to marry me. Meow! And starts cleaning himself.
Yeah, it's one of those characters.
It is. But at the end, no. I mean, no, I cannot talk about the end. But let's just say at the very end of the show, there is a payoff to it, and you are like, okay. It's not as creepy as it sounds. But yeah, it is definitely, and it's also, it starts out very simple, but it evolves. I mean, the setup is that they are in a literal fairy tale world, as in, this world is run and dominated by a fairy tale author, who is, by the way, dead, and is controlling this town, in which fairy tale-esque stuff is real. Oh, hello there, commercial.
Now we got a commercial.
So this author is dead, but basically he is still controlling everything, and he created this fairy tale world and is now ruling it from this clockwork in which he resides. And well, his protagonist that he himself sent into this world is a little duckling that he turned into Terror Princess Tutu. So this is a duck who transforms into a schoolgirl, who then magically girl transforms into Princess Tutu, who is just doing ballet. Or ballet, or whatever it's pronounced in English.
It's ballet.
Ballet. Okay, I recorded correct. In
ballet, German, it rhymes with ballet.
In German, we are very straightforward. We just call it ballet. So we pronounce the T at the end, even so.
Of course, you would pronounce it bullet.
Ballet, not bullet. But ballet.
Do you guys call a buffet too?
Buffet.
Probably.
But nevertheless.
What do you call Jimmy Buffett? Jimmy Buffet?
Right. Anyway, so about this. So it starts out very Monster of the Week or Challenge of the Week-esque, where there's basically some fairy tale theme plot thing, and they go in and they do some ballet moves and solve the episode, and then move on to the next, which stays pretty strong throughout the majority of the first season. It's really in the second season where it goes in a more diverse direction, and it starts out very simple, but it develops layers, and actually you get it gets a little bit of a deconstructive aspect to it, which you don't really expect. So
it's an aversion kind of a project, like
it's a weird one. It's definitely none that I would have ever picked up by myself, but at the end of it, I was, especially when it came to Duck, which is like the duck turned human, who is still called Duck, literally.
The character is named Duck.
The character is named Duck. I really grew very fond of Duck. She is like she has this naiveness and pure-heartedness to herself, but then again, she is literally an animal. Like she is just like
a duck made human.
They're very creative with the name, like unless it's meant to be an intentional satirical aspect that the characters are so blandly named.
That's the thing. It starts out. The first episodes I was not really buying into it because it was just like it felt so run of the mill and one dimensional. But it all grows. It grows more dimension, more aspect to it, and
that's the foundation for Adventure Time.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it doesn't reach Adventure Time levels.
Ballets, especially classic ones, have a tendency to just give characters the name on the can of their character.
Also,
like,
maybe also true. So what I would say is what I would say is like, I can see it as a complete turn off to anybody who is not into Magical Girl anime. I would also say that if you really, really cannot stand watching any ballet moves, it might also be a deal breaker for you. I am really not into ballet, and to the end of the show, I was like, and now they're on toe again and twirling around, and their dance moves are like jumping in those very wide ballet fashion. But so this is stylistically, but even for me who is really not into ballet, it was not enough to be a deal breaker. It's just at the end of the day, it becomes a stylistic choice. So if you can get through this stylistic choice and are generally open-minded for Magical Girl anime, I would give it a watch. It's a relatively short one. It has only 2 short seasons. I'm not even sure how many episodes there are altogether. This might be a 26 episode show or something.
That's probably because most anime
episodes per season.
Exactly. So it's reasonably short. It has a certain twist to it by leaving the challenge of the week, monster of the week, whatever you want to call it. It's not really monster. So of the week formula behind it relatively quickly. In the second season, they basically only have it for like 3 or 4 episodes. And then the last 8 seasons are all the finale and building up more and more. So, I would say if it in general sounds interesting and you want to see like how they can play with the Magical Girl formula, it's an interesting one. I mean, I stayed to the end, and at the very end, I also was actually invested in the characters. So, yeah. So I ended up liking it a lot more than I would have ever suspected. So
what a surprising turnaround.
It was a surprise for me too, but yeah. Check it out if you can get your hands in it.
Welcome to the Energy Cast.
Exactly. Let's not dwell on it.
I was looking it up as he was talking about it to get because I don't recognize it, so I was like, did it air on any network TVs here in the States?
I don't know.
Just
maybe I'm not sure where.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Because you
Denim,
recognize.
Denim, do you remember when you?
I remember watching this as a kid. I'm trying to remember.
It probably aired on something.
DVD only.
I'm wondering if it got like. I remember watching it on VHS tapes that my cousins recorded.
Anime Club.
My family was, even though this fucking anime aired in fucking like 2002, my family did not understand the concept of like, recording things on discs. So also,
honestly, people still don't. I went on eBay recently, and because people sell recorded tapes now on eBay. That's actually like a thing now. So obviously, people like you and me, like, ooh, I can look up Cartoon Network recordings from like the 90s and 2000s. There's probably a shitload of great commercials in there. And then I saw one where the preview image was Gumball, and I went, fucking Gumball on VHS? Who's still recording on VHS while Gumball is airing? What the fuck?
I'm telling you, a fucking VHS tape will become the new vinyls.
Except that vinyl
it kind of already has. But it's not picking up as quickly, but it's there.
But the thing is, vinyl actually has some durability to it. VHS tapes died while I had them and still using them.
Audio cassettes made a comeback. That is as like
the least durable thing that you can get. There's
as
a
far
reason
as
why
music
there's
is
a
concerned,
joke
yeah,
on
the
TV of
the
those
only other
things
one is
breaking
8-track.
all the time.
I don't get it. Anyways, questions, I guess.
It is that. Welcome to the question time. You know, for a low energy cast, we're actually getting through this really quickly.
Well, yeah, because you know we're three stooges, three chuckleheads.
Yeah. But
I get to be both.
Do we have any Twitter questions? I know
yes.
our good old J-Rog got us.
J-Rog did. Enigma is now double teaming us as well because he is on Twitter and I believe on Discord. Or did he not do Discord this week?
No, not on Discord.
Okay, fair.
He's sending them on Twitter now.
Yeah. Motivating hopefully more people.
He wants to step on J-Rog's turf.
Oh my. But apparently it works because, one question from Enigma, which might actually be retroactively answering our media or Chris's media from earlier. What's a video topic that you one day searched on YouTube, randomly or not, and the result was surprising and captivating enough to grab your attention and watch those videos?
Well, I guess Nick Robson technically worked, except the difference was I didn't search for anything. It just came up through a recommendation of another video.
So you're saying Nick Robinson is your answer?
But stumbling into a topic, I guess that's the better way to put that.
Yeah, I mean, I could just grab the good answer or the obvious answer while it's still there. Yeah, I mean, when you get into those kind of videos and then go down the rabbit hole, for example, down the rabbit hole, which was how I actually got to Freddy Knudsen. Like, one of these videos popped up in a sidebar, I checked it out, and he is similar like Nick Robinson, but completely different energy. Like, he also has those long-winded, these long-winded explanations, but he gives this little bit of a mystery angle, like with the do-do, do-do, and then he does just do this soft narrator voice all the time. And, I would say down the rabbit hole, even though it's not one topic, but the general, like, of internet mystery stuffness. Freddy Knudsen. What about you guys? Or is Nick Robinson officially the answer? Or you are trying to tell us that Pokemon is the answer?
Well, I mean, I will say, to go with the literal question of did you ever search something and then find something where you're like, huh. While I was producing the Thomas video, like the biggest hurdle I had, Key remembers this fondly, was for the opening bit, which I will mention, Eddie Bowley, who you guys have had on the show before, recorded a little cameo for the opener. But the big problem was what I needed was footage of model trains, like specifically Thomas the Tank Engine model trains, like going through, like on the show where the little model trains that go around the island of Sodor. It's like, well, I need B-roll footage of that for this cameo because it's a narration. It's meant to be played straight to contrast what's going to happen later, where everything's revealed to be, in the imagination of the puppet and so on. And the biggest issue I had was surprisingly trying to get footage of that. So I looked up on YouTube Thomas Model Railway, and there were so many results of just these, like, they range from people who had footage from like Japanese parks where they have these on display, where they like film them on their like handy cams, or there's like whole channels dedicated to like drone shots of their model Thomas trains in their yard. It was such a weird rabbit hole of, I knew Thomas had a fandom. I didn't know this was like this weird subsect of it, is that there's just these channels completely dedicated to model trains. And then through that rabbit hole, there was another rabbit hole of people that made their own Thomas the Tank Engine fan episodes with these model trains. And they had like After Effects animation for the pupils, and they had this like very cheap, not trying to mock anyone who make these, you if you're having fun, you do you, but the very obvious amateur voice acting from like kids with shitty microphones, like trying to sound British. It was like, I was so oddly fascinated by all this like it was like a train wreck. Like, oh
Hey.
wow, what is all this shit? This is fascinating. And then I emailed some of these people like, hey, could you maybe help me produce some B-roll? Never heard a peep from any of these people. So either these things just materialize and then they disappear.
People are in their own vacuum. Like these people are
or they're in their own bubble where they don't interact with anyone.
And go back to... Exactly.
They're like that Lemon Demon song. My trains, my trains.
But what I was gonna say is, Pokemon was kind of the rabbit hole I fell down because. Well, actually, it became because I watched Critical on YouTube, and then he started opening up Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then Ethan from good old Unis Honest and Crank Gameplays, he started opening up Pokemon cards on his Twitch because I follow him on Twitch, and it all went downhill from there. But I will say the better answer is I found Jenna Marbles through a random YouTube search.
Oh really?
Because I was looking up dog videos because I was just on a streak of looking up different breeds of dogs in little videos, and one of the videos that came up is how to care for your Sermits. The little video she made with like talking over Kermit and Peach, and that kind of devolved into me watching my dog review soap. I cut soap for my dog while he wears a turtleneck, and I was like, I'm really vibing with this girl's energy. Wait, she's from Rochester, New York? I knew there was a reason I liked her, and then suddenly I'm watching her videos every day and saying hell yeah, and annoying all my friends with Kermit photos ever since.
Hell yeah came from Jenna?
Yeah, because she constantly goes, oh, yeah.
I was not aware that hell yeah was a Jenna thing.
It is a Jenna thing. She one time shaved her eyebrows and wrote hell yeah where the eyebrows were. She was just bored, man. I live to have Jenna's energy of just having selfish me time, and that's her content. But I think the video that finally got me of like, yes, this will be the person I dedicate an unhealthy amount of my watch time to, was when she painted herself completely green so she would disappear into her green screen, so she was only like a mouth and eyes. It was just like I have found my internet soulmate, and it is Jenna. But yeah, so Jenna Marbles was completely through a random YouTube search.
Huh. Fascinating.
Thanks, YouTube. You have given me material to annoy my friends and stimulate my Twitter audience for years, because Lord knows I get way too many likes on posts where I just randomly put a Kermit picture into to be like, mentally I'm here.
Well then.
And how else would I have my would I have my the lock screen that I have, which is Hold on, I gotta take... Some of these notifications were for PayPal. You know.
Aww.
My lock screen. What, are you not gonna say yeehaw? Chris is so disgusted, he hates this dog.
I just realized.
But Discord question.
Yes, Discord question.
Be happy, Chris. You didn't get covered in printed out pictures of Kermit.
I haven't checked out my own lock screen in forever. It's still my addiction to red Bulmers. Go away, my ring light. Also, it's black again. But yeah, it's just Bulmers. When you could still drink outside in public.
Yeah.
Good old
Anyways,
times.
so
Yes.
I'm a narcissist.
Voice of reason. You know what? You're on brand. If you lose your phone, someone will either think that this person's a really big fan or this is your phone.
True that.
Exactly.
Voice of Reason asks, what holiday movie / special do you think does not get enough love? So what do you think is an underrated special that deserves more love? Now, here's the thing. Not a bad question. Just a question that I think is so subjective, because depending on how you got your Christmas media, something will be a different kind of underrated. Because if you got different networks, and this will go even bigger for international, has different distribution rights to things. So if you watch like a major network like CBS or ABC here in America, you're going to get a completely different experience than someone watching Cartoon Network during the holidays, where they have a lot of those.
Especially like there are the things that Cartoon Network got and
airing
lost.
all the time.
But I guess let's see what our guesses are.
Yeah, I'm just saying. This is the precursor that there may be disagreements in the underratedness of certain things.
Since you both have more obscure knowledge, can I go first?
Max, you go
why
first.
is it going to be German?
No, because...
Is it going to be the Grinch?
No,
I love on Tannenbaum. It's fun. It's the best.
I'm just worried that...
underrated.
I'm just worried if one of you guys picks the same one I pick, I won't have anything anymore, where you probably know more. I dare to say that it got a little bit the shorthand of the stick Arthur Christmas.
You know,
it didn't.
I mean, it's definitely getting a cult status, but at the time, I don't think people, like, box office.
It had, when it came out, at least in the scene I was in, which was the film reviewing scene, it was highly acclaimed. Like, everyone's saying, oh, this is going to be the next. Like, people going as far as saying, oh, this is going to be the next. Well, I think there's also, because mine is a similar pick, because I think there's also a regional difference. Like, I could probably, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say Arthur Christmas probably has a bigger impact in the UK, where it hails from, versus America.
It's digital
but
Aardman,
compared to most Aardman products, I think it has a wider appeal, because the sad fact is, it's digitally animated, and there is a subsect of people that find claymation uncanny and creepy. So not a lot of Aardman stuff would be as appealing to them. But I know, I agree, they're lost. I don't get it. But in Arthur Christmas's case, it has an advantage because, for some reason, digital animation just has this weird inherence toward older audiences, specifically people in like the late 20s, 30s, like parents who tend to gravitate toward like, oh, this will be like Shrek. It'll have things for me, a grown up, not just a kiddie thing. And then they see Minions, and then their optimism is completely shot down for any kind of appeal whatsoever to an adult. And I'm saying that as someone who doesn't even mind Minions, but I do not see the connection there. Would be like, oh, this would be like Shrek or Tangled. No, not at all. It's just cost effective and profitable. Like there's a reason they still make digital animation.
I do agree with Max, though, especially like, let's put aside Christmas films. In the sense of Aardman films, it is not the most widely talked about Aardman film. When you have stuff like Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit's, everything.
You get the occasional video essay, but otherwise relatively like not even my family knows it.
I would say that it's kind of has the same reach as All Dogs Go to Heaven did back in the day, of how it got more known. Is that theatrical wise, it only made like 50 million over its budget, which is not a success. But home video wise, or what we would count as home video, you know, it is
like streaming.
It got a lot more acclaim, which happens more often with Christmas movies, because, you know, people like to watch these typically at home, all cuddly and nice.
Yeah, like, can you honestly name a Christmas movie, like a theatrically released? It's why I've always thought it was weird when I almost kind of don't see the reason to put a Christmas movie in theaters, especially at Christmas time. It's like, first of all, who's going to the theater besides, you know, someone who's Jewish or Muslim, who's going to a theater at Christmas time? You're usually at home.
Well, in the Christmas
with your family.
season,
you're not usually going out.
With your family. If you're with your family,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Because Max,
like when you're with your family,
to go see Cats and Aquaman.
Oh, Chrissy, you and I both grew up in the East. You're not going to the fucking theater at Christmas because it's negative something, and you're staying home.
I'm stating
no one's going to the theater.
I know, Chris, but I'm stating the regional thing. But I can see why Max is saying Arthur Christmas. I do know plenty of people who have not given Arthur Christmas.
What are your picks to move things along?
Yeah.
I'd say The Forgotten Toys, which is a British special. Like, it was a TV special based on a book that, again, all this shit is like relatively unknown in the States. It was a picture book. It had a TV show, I think, also in the UK. But I mostly remember the special because it was a tape I had as a kid. And it's a criminally underrated special because the greatest thing about it is that it stars Bob Hoskins, who is one of my absolutely favorite actors. And the story is about two toys, a teddy bear and a doll. Yep, that's them right there. The doll is played by Joanna Lumley, known for things like Absolutely Fabulous or AbFab. And I think she's also in Coraline. I think she's one of the two women that Coraline meets a lot.
The old ladies.
Because the two they're the AbFab girls. Like that's the connection. But the special's really good because it's I will say it's not like when it starts, it's not a cheery one. Because hence the title, The Forgotten Toys. They're the toys that got thrown out on Christmas.
I mean, this entire cover gives me a very, very melancholy.
It gives me snowman vibes, like where you're just gonna feel sad.
It has, I mean, it does have. As someone who grew up loving the snowman, it definitely does feel like a nice little companion piece to it. But it is also one of those things where I proudly say the ending always consistently makes me go, like it's I honestly think it's very underrated, and the best thing about it is Bob Hoskins, because the man was such a phenomenal actor. Like, he even in shit like Son of the Mask, he always gave it his all.
For people who need an example, he's Eddie in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yes, Eddie Valiant in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Mario in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's a wonderful actor. But in this particular special, like, keep it in mind, it's just a made-for-TV, like, relatively low budget. Like, it's well animated. It doesn't look cheap, but it's a TV production. It's a smaller scale than like a play or a feature film. And even in this thing, Bob Hoskins brings 110% in the performance. He is so good as the teddy bear. Like, holy shit. It's even just the first minute of the special, he's like screaming out like, "Hey, come and get me!" It's like, you're just a teddy bear, Bob. Why are you doing an Oscar-winning performance here? Like, I actually believe you're a disgruntled bear thrown out on Christmas, and you just want to be put back inside. He's so good. He's infectious in this movie. Like, honestly, it's on YouTube. I think last I checked, the whole special is on YouTube because it's a relatively in the States. It's a relatively rare find. Like, I don't think there's any copies currently in print or circulation. I come across the occasional one on DVD for like $30. So that shows that it's rare, but it's not like super rare where it's going for hundreds of dollars. But it's not. I'll just say it's uncommon. It's extremely uncommon, and the fact that seemingly only I remember this, so it shows how obscure that is.
I mean, it's the question is just like, which one doesn't get enough love? So
yeah. So let's see. My choice. I usually have my most common pick is the Town That Santa Forgot, which is also the special that everyone forgot, because Lord knows.
That's the Cartoon Network.
Yes, it aired on like Cartoon Network.
I have that tape.
Yes, you have it on tape.
At Goodwill.
But Lord, there's no home media releases of it anywhere, and it was just this little special.
Outside of that VHS, though, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to pick something else.
Oh.
Good job, Max.
Oh, no.
Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. I'm kidding. No one needs to watch Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree, which is a fucking just for context, it's a Muppet Christmas special, but as much of a Muppet movie as something that just has Kermit as the narrator, and it has Robert Downey Jr. in it during the midst of him being on all the coke, and it has him singing around dressed as Scrooge. And
I am 100% certain that he was snorting cocaine offset because Robert Downey Jr.'s never had that energy again. Like when you watch that clip of him, dancing like okay, Robert, calm down.
It's a magical thing. But my legitimate recommendation is my childhood Christmas movie. Also my childhood Christmas book, which is Olive the Other Reindeer.
The Other Reindeer.
Which apparently, if you did not watch Cartoon Network, you do not know this special exists. I should know, because Brett didn't know this special existed. And I think Lauren only knew,
that special has hopped around. Like, I think it was on Nickelodeon.
I know, but Cartoon Network is the most often appearance of it. But it's this little Christmas movie about this little beagle dog named Olive, played by Drew Barrymore, who loves Christmas, but one of Santa's elves gets injured, and listening to the radio broadcast of Santa, he says, we're going to need all of the other reindeer, and she interprets it as Olive the Other Reindeer. So she goes to the North Pole to be like, I'm gonna help Santa. Meanwhile, Dan Castellaneta is just a mailman trying to ruin her thing because he doesn't want Christmas to happen because a postman hates Christmas.
I have the feeling this was your media one of the previous years around Christmas.
Yes, it was
this
previous
looks
Christmas.
Very familiar.
It was, because everyone needs to watch this fucking movie because it's wholesome as
Olive
shit.
Olive just looks like a dwarfed version of Bunny.
I know it does look like Bunny. But it's such a cute movie and it's so wholesome, and I really respect it because it looks exactly like the book. And they do it through CGI, and this is from the same people who made The Simpsons. This is a Matt Groening special, which is why 90% of the actors are Simpsons actors. And you can tell, because Dan Castellaneta is just putting on his robot devil voice throughout most of this.
Which is my favorite voice of his, to be honest.
Oh, it is.
I love
a good Homer, but come on.
But you can't just have your characters announce how they feel. That makes me angry.
That makes me angry. But I really recommend people watch it. It's on YouTube. It's all on YouTube.
Ooh my! I guess I put it on the list.
It's just so cute. It has lovely little musical numbers. It has some jokes that that does not deserve to be in there because it makes you realize, oh yeah, this was made during the time where Simpsons was still really good. So it has that level of smart writing. Well, I mean, I still like The Simpsons. The Simpsons sometimes get some good jokes. We clicked on a random episode
I think Chrissy
and just laughed at
Chrissy
jokes.
and I have said this, is that we would rather watch a mediocre Simpsons than a bad Family Guy. Like, one is ostensively worse viewing than the other, because at least The Simpsons, you could say, it's trying. Family Guy doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, but that's my recommendation. The cute dog movie. Yeah. Very on brand for Christy. It is on brand. But do we have another Twitter question?
Yes, as you predicted correctly, J-Rock keeps up the Twitter feed with his traditional "Would you rather?" And I'm actually interested about this one. So for all three, would you rather be able to control animals or be able to control electricity? It's
say animals.
It's not as easy.
Here. No, think.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly do you gain from controlling electricity?
You have
get to be a living Y2K.
But why? That sounds inherently evil.
Yes.
You answered your own question.
Here's the difference. If you control animals, it's a vague statement, so it doesn't. It can cover a lot of ground. All right. I can make pandas mate, and they'll no longer be on the extinction list or the near extinction.
So you're.
I could also.
Also, you can do.
My justification is that if you can control what animals do, inherently you can control animals fucking, and for animals that are very near extinction, that is crucial to their existence.
Okay.
With electricity, what do you have outside of I can strike people down or blow out their fuse boxes.
And power stuff.
Everything that involves controlling electricity is inherently evil. There's no benefit to society in doing so. Animals, on the other hand, there is.
You just want to do this one. You just want to do this one cool attack move from Shrek 3, where the prince is like, wah! And all the animals attack. Somebody photoshopped Chris's face.
You could do that, but I guess that shows the difference of what I would do. Is I would do things that would actually benefit, the environment, the economy,
but the thing
society as a whole.
Do you really want to mentally enslave animals? I mean, they are already.
It's not really mentally enslaving if you're making sure,
like
specifically pandas, because pandas are so scarce. If you're able to control. Like, I'm viewing it as like a mind control. I believe, I could just, through some kind of sonar, be able to track a female panda
fur affinity tag
miles away.
I believe the fur affinity tag you are describing is rape by proxy.
God, no, stop it. But I mean, for all we know, all Chris is doing is just putting some berry white in their fucking heads just to get the mood going.
Can't get enough of your love, babe. I mean,
but look, I'm just saying, with the power of electricity, I could use it for good use. If it's like a magical type of electricity, I can help bring electricity to places that don't have conducive wiring to have that. A lot of third world nations, if I had the power to control electricity, we would not need the need for making electricity.
How do you control electricity in an environment that has no
magic, lightning?
So you're just a human battery, is what you're trying to say.
Yes, which is basically what I am.
What a terrible life to live. You basically just sit there and keep a society running forever. You do nothing outside of charge. At least with the animal thing, you can go home and live the rest of your life. Like, you went out, you had pandas fuck. Job well done. You can rest easy. Pandas are no longer extinct, or at least endangered. I should say.
I have a question before Max picks something. Do humans count as animals?
Oh,
we are mammals.
I pick animals.
You have your mind control.
I changed my answer.
I mean, if I can go the whole Bela Lugosi,
but I dare. But I dare to say, since the question
was... Come to me, Anna Kendrick.
Since the question was specifically, can you control animals and not can you control life forms? Because at the end of the day, yes, a human is just a complex animal, but then what living being is not an animal?
A human is just a fully evolved animal. Like, it is an animal.
Yeah, so it is an animal. It's not a plant. We do have a genus that says that we are a type of mammalia.
So in other words,
technically animals.
Could be thrown in there.
Question if it's about sentient animals or not.
Hey.
I think...
I mean, dumber people. You can probably control dumber people, but then again, so can active people on Twitter. Hey.
Is that a segue to your next question?
No, I mean, I still do need to...
What's your choice, Max?
You know what? I will for once take the moral high ground and not mentally enslave other beings, let alone people. I will take electricity.
Instead of controlling people, you'd rather strike them down.
No, I mean, if they are evil, sure. I mean, but you say, it's so evil.
That's pretty malevolent.
Sor uses electricity. If my Shazam uses electricity to charge people's phones to varying effect,
Shazam blew up a guy's phone.
Well, but another person's phone he just recharged. So it is also.
You don't have a very good frame of reference here.
What? Just because I keep mentioning superhero movies as my frame of reference for this one question?
You're the kid who made a book report from watching the movie adaptation of the book.
But yeah.
Oh, that's easy to do.
But yes, next question.
Yes, next question. Back to the Discord.
Okay. From Expat, what song do you always listen to this time of year? Michael Bublé. No. I would be a disgrace to Italians if I picked Michael Bublé.
Knowing you probably listen to Paul McCartney's Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
I mean, I do, but don't expose me like this. I need to express that I have some diversity in my taste and I'm not overtly predictable.
No, you don't.
What about you, Chris? What's your pick? You are the guest.
Probably the Linus and Lucy. Gotta hear that Charlie Brown Christmas song. do, 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 do. Like that's childhood right there.
I mean, I can always go with my too obvious, which is a good old "All I Want for Christmas Is You," and the Idina Menzel, Michael Bublé version of "Baby It's Cold Outside." It's the one time Michael Bublé sounds good.
But yeah,
I'm more partial to that. I will judge you. Michael Bublé is a sin against Italians.
But yeah, favorite Chris or favorite song to listen to at this time in year, or
yes.
I don't think I necessarily
Tannenbaum.
have one.
Oh Tannenbaum, oh Tannenbaum.
Huh? Come on, next line.
He's not disagreeing. He's not disagreeing.
Next line, come on.
He wants you to commit.
Yes.
No, I don't. You're the German.
No, but I don't know. I don't think. I mean, there are Christmas songs that, but outside of context, I wouldn't listen to. So I'm not sure if I have a lot of special songs that I listen to specifically for the holiday season.
I guess what's your favorite holiday song? You don't have to pick. It's not one you have to. If someone was like, okay, you have to pick a holiday song to play right now over the loudspeaker.
I'm probably thinking about All I Want for Christmas just because because I saw a clip earlier on Twitter with Jacob from Drawfee grooving up to this song in a way that is breaking laws in some countries, I have the feeling. While the rest of the Drawfee crew sits in the front. He's doing this in the background. They're just sitting there all
I saw that clip earlier.
It was pretty beautiful.
Oh,
so this is just the one that comes to mind. But yeah. I mean, what I usually like to listen to are like rock Christmas albums. So it's like the classical songs, but with a little bit of a rhythm to it. So yeah, that kind of thing I actually.
Group? I'm trying to think. There's this one group that's
Beatles.
like
with you, it's always
like
Beatles.
This rock version of Carol of the Bells. It's like a rock
Metallica,
orchestration version. Is it?
I think it was Metallica that did the
maybe Metallica.
Pretty sure it was
It's Metallica. It may be Trans-Siberian Orchestra though, something like that. Because
as a kid, I remember seeing like that version and having it labeled Metallica. But then again, that was the era where any parody was labeled Weird Al, even if it wasn't Weird Al. So I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it is Trans-Siberian Orchestra because I remember that. Because they use it in the fucking World of Color water show at Disneyland in the fire segment, and it's the coolest part of that fucking thing. But yeah, rock versions of Christmas songs have no right to be as cool as they are. But
They can be.
I am losing energy very quickly, if that's believable. So
what? You want to move on to the fuck, marry, kill?
Yes, please.
Let's go there.
You guys can save your other Christmas questions for the rest of December. We're not even in December yet.
Got plenty of time.
Come on.
We're only just out of Thanksgiving.
Do you guys see us wear our Christmas hoodies yet or sweaters yet?
Now do your job,
Not
Mac.
yet.
What's our fuck, marry, kill?
Yeah, mine too. I will wear it for all the December casts that we have.
Yes, exactly. Same.
Two
Anyways.
or three?
Let
me see.
Two if you're leaving for your family on
No,
the
3.
Oh,
the 20th, we still can do the 20th. So 3, we have 3 more awkward casts this year.
3 awkwards. Hooray.
All Christmas themed with sweaters and everything.
Yes. But no. So from Magical Dude, sniping the FMK, jaded old people who love Disney cartoons. Oh, jaded old people who love money from Disney cartoons. I read that wrong. Fuck, marry, kill. Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales, Stanley Pines from Gravity Falls, and the Owl Lady, or Ida, from the Owl House. One's a duck, one's a witch, and one shares a voice actor with a demon, but they have one thing in common. Their hearts were softened by youth. And they love a good profit.
Always risky.
You made it too easy.
Yeah,
you put a woman in there.
Exactly, Magical. You need to always keep the genders straight.
I'm a woman.
Well, I guess since you got first
because
call,
we have to pick different answers.
Exactly. So for you it's
Chris,
easy.
You are the guest.
One.
You get to go first. You know how this goes.
Yeah, I'm fucking the Owl House woman. I've never seen the Owl House, but she's got all the parts I need as a straight white man.
She is hot and she is not as old as she looks.
I'll take your word for it. I will kill. Tia will have me for lunch. I will kill Stanley Pines.
Why are you killing your husband?
He has no use to me. But I'll marry Scrooge because he's loaded. Because that's the thing. Stanley Pines is not rich.
That's true. He just likes the money.
He's a scam artist. He likes money, but he is not inherently rich. Scrooge, if we're speaking specifically the reboot DuckTales, not only is he wealthy, he's very good with his money. He's not just like generically cheap. He's smart with investments. And he's the richest duck in all of Duckville, or
the world, I believe the world.
The point being is that he's number one, and Glumgold is number two. You marry Scrooge, you're good for life. You're set for life, especially since you might even make your way into the will. No one says it has to be.
If he ever dies, you don't know how many pocket dimensions he'll fall into to retain agelessness.
But always remember, folks, marriage does not inherently imply sex. So I am going into a sexless marriage with Scrooge McDuck,
and
while I'm fucking the Owl House girl on the side.
I mean,
and stabbing Stan Pines.
To be fair, Uncle Scrooge doesn't even seem to get game with this old elderly lady adventure duck.
Goldie.
Goldie, he doesn't even seem to get anywhere with Goldie, even though they obviously have a thing for each other. So yeah, you might get away with a sexless marriage.
Stop derailing and answer the question.
But no,
okay, it's your turn
you
now.
just killed Stan because why not? Or
yes. He killed Stan because he serves no use. And he's fucking the Owl Lady because
obviously.
woman.
So yeah, you stole the straight answer for me for fuck. You stole the gold digger answer for key for gold for marriage. That's brutal.
If I know Key, she'll either marry or have sex with Scrooge because it's David Tennant.
Oh, well, here's the thing. We try to pick different answers from each other, and usually I get the final combo and have to justify the final
It used
combo.
to be the other way around, but for some reason, Key likes to suffer. Yep. I like the creative challenge back in the day, but basically I still have it since I want to have a different run from Chris. So let's see. I cannot kill Ida. I cannot do it. I don't get to fuck her. This means I'm marrying Ida. This sounds amazing.
That sounds like a fun marriage.
That sounds like an amazing marriage.
The only downside is that you're living in this house that Hootie is.
That's true, and there's a thing that by marrying Ida, I would be in constant trouble with the law. But she usually gets into the trouble and out of the trouble by herself. And as long as she doesn't throw me...
You would be in constant trouble with the law if you were marrying Grunkle.
That's also very true, actually.
Either way, you're fucked legally.
Yeah, but the thing is, Grunkle Stan is just like this kind of devious guy who sometimes... He's good at avoiding the issues, while Ida outright is the most wanted witch on the entire Boiling Isle. So there's a little bit of difference. Nah. But Ida marrying Ida. No regrets. This then means I have to fuck Grunkle Stan. I mean, the straight answer was already taken. At least not, I mean, we potentially all have seen Factually Correct DuckTales, the theme song. So...
No!
Yes. But yeah, so Grunkelstan, I mean, if I have to go gay, Grunkelstan, he's a guy who he has seen things. He has a history. This will be an experience for sure. That will not be a boring.
Demon in the face.
He did that. I mean, and who knows? He has a certain softy side to him. So I don't think that it will just be a massacre. And yes, Scrooge. I mean, here's the thing. I'm pretty confident that I can even reboot Scrooge without any big issues. It's a duck family. He will somehow have a back loop. He will return. I mean, his butler is literally his ghost. His parents live in some kind of limbo. I am not too worried about killing Scrooge McDuck. After some big season finale, he will be back. Stronger than ever. Key, what are your answers?
Made it this way.
Are you actually going to just ignore everything and copy Chris's answer so you get...
No. If there is one thing Christine Marie does not do, it's half-ass it. No. Okay. So, I guess I'm going to marry Stan Pines. You know what? I get to marry into a very interesting family. Dipper and Mabel will come during the summer. Right. It'll be a lot of fun adventures. So I can imagine that would always be cool. Plus, I get to hang out with Stanford, who's obviously the smarter one. So I get to hang out with J.K. Simmons, which is always a plus.
It's true. It's true.
Then I'm going to kill Ida. I mean, her body parts just rip off of her anyways. It's
a mercy kill.
I mean, I guess in a way, yes. I mean, she's had to deal with being the owl lady for so long. Who knows what will happen if you do kill her? Maybe her curse will finally be set free. God, I can't think of any other justifications. I have to get to the fucking
Dum bum 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 ba dum factual correct DuckTales.
I don't need the backing track, dear. I really do not. Okay, so I'm gonna fuck Scrooge McDuck. You know what? He is.
Fuck the duck. Fuck the duck.
Wasn't me for once.
Kill me. Look, he's voiced by David Tennant, so at least I'm going to be hearing a nice thing during. I could just imagine he's his character from Good Omens the entire time, which could also explain the weird anatomy.
You're gonna imagine.
Oh no! Chris, you vibe far too well with the chat.
What is the chat doing? I don't want. Should I look? Oh, fuck off, chat. Not today. I don't have. No. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna fuck Scrooge McDuck. You know, he's rich. Maybe he has some cool toy. I don't know, man. I don't want to talk about getting fucked by a duck penis. Have you seen those things? They look like a wine opener.
Well, that's awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. It's time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. Artwork and analysis, which you do not